In the house. Kurt Mortensen's in the house, and we're going to be talking about sales. Sales makes America great. Sales makes the Philippines great. Sales makes the world go round. Life's a game, and games are fun. Business is a game, and games are fun. How do you measure if you're winning or losing? Well, it depends. You do it by making sales, by helping people, by solving problems. Sales is not about grinding somebody in the corner and forcing them to buy something they don't want. Forced against your will, you have the same opinion still. Sales is about solving problems. It's not about wrenching somebody into something they don't want because they won't come back. The successful people are the ones that solve the biggest problems, and people come back because they have a problem they need to solve. So we got Kurt in the house. We're going to talk about sales. And again, sales is about solving problems. And this is how you do it. All right, Kurt, let's bring him on. Kurt, if you're ready, we're going to take you away and let you go ahead.
Hey, Success and Money Foundation, welcome to Sales School. You're going to learn why 3% of entrepreneurs make 97% of the money. What do they have that you don't have? They have the ability to persuade, influence, and sell. That's the key. That's what we'll be talking about over the next few weeks. Welcome to Sales School. This skill is the most important thing. Well, I don't sell. We all sell for a living. His parents, teachers, leaders, managers, we have to sell something. Customer service, you have to sell something. We all sell. Did you know that most CEOs, even of large companies, have a sales and marketing background? You have to learn somewhere to learn how to sell, to get others to want to do what you want them to do and like doing it. Because everyone needs to have that side hustle, that business, and in that business, you need to learn how to sell, how to influence, and that's what we'll be talking about. Welcome to Sales School. So why do over 90% of these businesses, these small businesses, fail? So the SBA, that's the Small Business Administration in the United States, trying to get business growth, doing the statistics, the analytics, and D&B, that's Dun & Bradstreet, so one's more corporate, one's more government, came to the same conclusion that over 90% of businesses fail. You want to know the main reason? You sitting down, you ready for this? Lack of sales. It's the lack of sales. Because what does sales do? Sales fixes everything. If you need to work on shipping, a little extra money in sales could help out there. If you need to work on product development, little sales help. Now, I know it's not 100% of everything. Sales could be a challenge, too much sales, but hey, that's a good problem to have. Because when you look at sales, a sales career, it's the easiest, lowest paying job or the hardest, highest paying job. There's no in between there. We all sell for a living. It doesn't matter what you do. Even if you stick with your corporate job, you need to learn how to sell your ideas, how to negotiate. I'm telling you, we should learn this in school. This is a critical life skill. So I want to talk about some foundational things that'll make a huge difference. That when you talk to people, remember they want to be sold. They want a solution to their problem, and it should be you. Now, let me go out here on a limb. It's a little strong for some of you, but you have a moral and ethical obligation to sell the people that you're talking to. You're like, well, wait a minute. Yes, you should believe in yourself and your product or service so much, you should feel that if you don't sell them, they're going to go to someone else. And this is true. They're going to go to someone else that's cheaper, worse, not going to help them out, not going to serve them, probably has an inferior product and service. Someone's going to take their money, and it might as well be you. So make that shift in your thinking about your mindset. You have an obligation to sell people into your product and service. So let's create that foundation. Become great in sales no matter what you do, especially those entrepreneurs doing that side hustle, that side business. To be successful in sales, there's basically 3 buckets, 3 areas. Now there's mindset. We've talked about that. Go back to billionaire psychology. You have to be in the right state to sell, to persuade, whatever it is. That's the foundation of this foundation, is that mindset. So if that's an issue for you, go back to millionaire psychology, revisit that, go through that. That's the first area. The second one is product knowledge. Yeah, you have to know your product or service, which you probably do. It's your side hustle. We talked about that too, your personal development, you're learning and growing, you know about your competition, you know about the industry, you know about the trends, you know the inside and out about your product or service, you know what your competitors are doing, what they do better than you, what you do better than them. That's the second bucket, the second area. The third we'll be talking about are the actual sales techniques, the sales tools. right? You have to have the sales tools to make this happen. So did you catch that? You've got your product knowledge, mindset, and sales tools. So let's get into some of these sales tools. Or better yet, let's get into that foundation before we get into a lot of these tools so you can really set that. And then when the tools come, then you can just get up to speed faster. Remember, a lot of people for success are driving around in a car in first gear with emergency brake on with a very little gas with no GPS system. No wonder they're not getting there. Now we're going to give you the tools to be able to do this. Let's set that foundation. Let's put some gas in that engine. So let's talk about the first thing, your default setting. So your default setting as a human, this is true for anybody anywhere in the world, default setting, that means this is just how you naturally think, or things you naturally do, is that you tend to sell others how you like to be sold. You might be a very analytical person, you might be a very emotional person, you might like stories, you might not. You need to learn how to sell people how they want to be sold. So own up. Doesn't matter how you like to be sold, we have to get in there and adapt to them. What are we adapting to? Everything and anything. It could be their culture, their personality, their age group, right? We adapt. That could be their department. Engineering, accounting is much different than marketing, sales, or even customer service. We adapt. That's okay. We need to learn to sell people how they want to be sold. If you can learn that little thing and not do the same thing every time or create presentations that would resonate with you, you have to really understand how this works. And understand too, in sales and persuasion, when you're persuading somebody one-on-one, you're adapting to them. That's what we're talking about. In a group, we're shooting down the middle because we have all the personalities. We'll talk about some of those formulas, but let's get past your default setting. Let's adapt to personalities, to styles, to age groups, to culture. No right or wrong. We're different. That's good, but we have to learn to adapt. The second one is learn to help them sell themselves. Because the moment, it's true for almost everyone, the moment they sense you're going to try to sell something, even though they need it, want it, like it, and can afford it, they're going to resist you. That's human nature. That is human nature. So if you can learn how to just subtly plant the seeds, to learn that slow is fast. You want to come in and vomit on the people. Here are the 27 reasons you should do that. Not persuasive ever, okay? Because then you give them objections, questions they didn't think about. There's probably 3 or 4 main reasons to do this. The rest are just bonuses. So you can adapt to them, number one. Number two, help them persuade themselves. We're going to talk about some techniques and tools to help them persuade themselves. They came up with a decision. They want to say yes. So when you get to the close, they've closed themselves. What in sales we say closing skills is like trying to get a kiss after a bad date. Okay? If they don't like you, they don't trust you, a clever phrase is not going to help you out. Now there's a time and a place for closing skills. But the reality is help them close themselves. Get the yes before you even get to that. Build up those greed glands, as Tom says. Get them to salivate and learn how to solve, what's Tom say, those big problems. And help them understand that here is a solution to your problem. Help them realize it for themselves. Plant those seeds. Slow is fast. It's easier to sell somebody in 15 minutes than in 5 minutes. Just saying. You want to be one and done, make it quick. But that's not how sales works. Third area, the number of tools. Most people have 3, 4, maybe 5 sales tools in their toolkit. You need to get more. There's over 100. We'll be talking about some of these to just get more tools. You tend to do the same things over and over every time. What do? You data dump. Here are the 72 reasons. We talked about that. Or you might say, do it for me, I'm your friend. Or you might say, if you do this, I'll give you this reward. You might try the people skills. That's about it for most people. Get more tools. Because when you look at the keys of piano of sales, that's the example I'm going to use. You have all these keys. And you're playing chopsticks, which is the easiest song, requires, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 notes. It's easy, it's simple. Learn to play Mozart. What did Mozart use? All the keys on the piano. And that's what we use, all the keys on the piano of sales. Let's get more tools. And that's going to be the focus of these trainings. This is sales school. You should be excited. You should have learned this in school. We all sell for a living. Direct correlation between your success, especially in your business, and your ability to sell. So let's talk about some things to work on, to think about, part of your homework. Choose one of these so you can fine tune and get better. Homework's required. I'm not going to come to your house and knock on your door, but you want to improve and get better. You don't say, that was nice, you do the homework. So the first thing is to start keeping the score. We do it in sports, we do it in life. The government has their score with the taxes you pay. How do you know you're getting better? You got to keep the score. That's the key. How do you know you're improving or getting worse or staying the same? So keeping the score in sales is pretty simple. I spent 2 hours, made 20 calls, 5 said, yes, tell me more, and 2 of those bought. All right, that's a 10% close rate. That is your score. You have a 10% close rate. And then you keep fine-tuning, adding more tools, working through these programs, getting better. Then maybe you move up to 15%. Maybe you move up to 20%. And part of this, too, is start benchmarking the great salespeople around you, especially in your industry or that are close to you. Take them to lunch. We've talked about that. Pick their brain, listen to them. Benchmarking is not stealing, because you take 4 or 5 people and benchmark. You take what you like, apply it to your presentation. Take what you don't, make sure you don't add it. That's how business is done. That's how websites are built. That's how books are written. You benchmark what you like. You get rid of what you don't. You make it yours. That's what you're doing here. The other area to look at is that fear of rejection. Now, fear is an issue. Go back to millionaire psychology, but that fear of rejection, what if they say no? What if they don't do it? They will. That's why they say, I love this saying, some will, some won't, so what? Who's next? You know you need to make 20 phone calls. That's going to get you 2 yeses. You do that every day. And you should get excited. So every no, you know you're closer to a yes. That's just the statistics and numbers. That's why we keep the score. Just say, okay, thank you for that. You're closer to the sale. You might even say, oh, that was the $10 in my bank account. If you average what a sale is going to give you out of those 20 phone calls, you keep the score. You keep the score. That's what's so important. You're getting better, you're improving, you're getting better, you're improving. But you can't just say, oh, it doesn't matter. Every day. How many hours? How many calls? How many yes, more informations? And how many bots? That's what you're looking for. That's basic. But that fear of rejection, okay, they will. Bring it on. Bring it on. Bring it on. That just means you're closer to someone saying yes. Now, some industries, like stockbrokers just getting started, they might have 100 phone calls to get a 1, okay, tell me more. They might have 200 to get one person to say yes. That's just how they do it. And they just don't take it personally. They get in the right state and they don't take it personally. Third one, prejudging. Oh, they wouldn't be interested. They would never do it. They don't have enough money. You don't know. You don't know. That sucks the life out of you, hurts your presentation. Of course they're going to say no because you thought they're going to say no. You planted that seed, your expectations are off, your energy level's low. You treat somebody 100%. You give them 100%. You treat them like they're a future customer or client. You do that. Because everybody you meet, everybody you talk to can do business with you or know somebody that can. That's just how it is. Give it your all. And at this stage, it's great practice. Hey, if they're going to listen to you, give it your all. Even if they say no, you had great practice. So do you think that they're either going to do business with you, know someone they can, or it's great practice? So win, win, win all the way around. Don't prejudge them. Oh, they're not smart enough. They're not good enough. They don't have enough money. They wouldn't do it. Whatever it is. They don't have the time. You don't know. But if you do prejudge, it sucks the life out of your presentations. They sense it. Of course, they're going to say no. Do not prejudge. Treat someone like everybody 100%. Give them 100%. And that is key. So to review the homework, things to think about, something to work on. Maybe it's all the above. Keep the score so you know how well you're doing. Learn how to deal with that rejection. And no prejudging. There you go. That's the key. So this is the kickoff to Success and Money Foundation, Sales Academy, Sales 101, whatever you want to call it. We talked about foundational things. Now with these next trainings, we're going to talk about blunders, mistakes, how to fix those, best practices, what's changed in the world of selling, get more tools and techniques so you're not playing on the keys of the piano of sales with 1 or 2 fingers with 3 or 4 notes. you've got the whole piano. You get more persuasive. You're going to sell better. Your business is going to grow. You're going to make more money. You're going to change your family's life. You're going to change the world. And we know we're doing this to not improve our own lives, but to improve the lives of our children, our family, our community. And the ultimate goal is to make the world a better place.
Thanks, Kurt. And again, remember, sales is about solving problems. Sales is about solving problems. And then how fast can you solve the problem? And can you solve bigger problems? And can you solve the problem once for multiple people at the same time? That's what scaling your businesses are. That's what selling is all about. And remember, sales is a game and games are fun. Business is a game and games are fun. So let's go have some fun with those games. Thanks for watching.